Hello mga kababayan, nandito tayo ngayon sa Daejeon, Korea at nabalik kaso ni Jinggoy Estrada at yung pag-acquit sa kanya on the case of plunder at saka yung pag-convict sa kanya on the case of bribery and indirect bribery, and it has a sentence of 8 to 9 years for direct bribery and 2 to 3 years for indirect bribery. Ngayon pag-aralan natin yung kaso at ano ba yung desisyon ng korte at tignan nga natin kung paano nakarating dito. Okay? Unang-una pag-usapan natin yung acquittal niya on the plunder issue. Ngayon, on first glance, I'm sure may mga iba sa inyo na na-trigger at sumama ang loob at tingin nyo anong klaseng sistema meron natin sa Pilipinas at kailan ba talaga mahuhuli itong mga corrupt na politiko natin at mahuhuli ba talaga sila o hindi? O iba ba talaga ang batas natin dito pag makapangyarihan ka kumpara sa isang tao na walang kapangyarihan o walang pera? Okay. Yung pagka-acquit sa kanya kasi, I think is a technicality. Dahil pag pinakinggan mo yung decision at kung bakit nila dinesisyon na i-acquit si Jinggoy, is isa sa mga sinabi nila ay they don't believe na Jinggoy stole or plundered more than 50 million pesos kasi may threshold yung plunder case na kailangan yung na-plunder mo na pera ay above 50 million pesos. Pag below 50 million, hindi ka pwede ma-charge with plunder. So it's a technicality and I actually believe that that law is flawed. Kasi for me, kahit na 50 million, 30 million, 20 million o 100 million ang ninakaw mo sa kaba ng bayan, kailangan ka matanggal sa pwesto mo at kailangan ka maparusahan dahil plunder is plunder regardless of the amount, in my opinion. Pero according to our law at ang gumawa ng ating batas ay ang ating mga politiko, I think it favors them by doing these kinds of laws to protect them so that they can do all of these things. And that's the unfortunate thing about the laws in the Philippines. The people that are voted to create these laws are the very people that create laws for their own interest and to protect themselves so that they can enrich themselves. That is the unfortunate thing with politics. Now, is Jinggoy corrupt or not? Well, hindi natin masabi. According to the law, hindi daw siya corrupt. Right? But historically, tignan na lang natin kung ano ba yung kanyang kayamanan, kanyang lifestyle. At tignan, ikaw na lang maghusga. Kayo na maghusga kung ano tingin nyo sa kanya. Kung mabuting tao ba yan o hindi. Kung corrupt ba siya o hindi. Base na lang sa kanyang kayamanan bilang isang politiko. At ang dami niyang pera. At ano ba talaga trabaho niya? Kaya mo bang yumaman ng ganyan bilang isang politiko? Yun na lang, isipin mo na lang. At kayo na maghusga. Okay. Next. Maraming paraan kasi ang ating mga politiko para makalusot at magawa ang kanilang mga corrupt ways sa ating bansa. At I'll give you some example of how they can get away with corruption na hindi nakikita ng batas. Okay? One way is this. For example, merong contractor or kumpanya or organisasyon na gusto makipag-deal o may ginagawang project with the government. And it requires the approval of a politician like a senator or congressman. Ang mangyayari dito ay pag hindi directly sasabihin ng politiko sa organisasyon or sa kumpanya na gusto niya ng kickback, ang magsasabi nun ay yung mga tao niya. At yung pagsabi nun, of course, is done in private between two people. So walang witness. Yun ang una. Pangalawa, pag magkaroon na ng bayaran, with regards to the money, the kickback, it's not done through bank transfers, obviously, kasi mahuhuli yun. Everything is done through cash. Okay? Next, pangatlo, hindi lang done through cash. Ang pag-deliver pa ng cash is done in secrecy. Paano yun? Yung bagman o yung magdadala ng pera ay pupunta sa isang lugar, could be the house or a residence or a place designated by the politician, at iiwan lang yung pera with nobody in the room. So walang magtatanggap ng pera. And so hindi mo alam at wala kang ebidensya at hindi mo pwede masabi na nabigay mo yung pera dito sa politiko na to kasi hindi mo naman nakita kasi iniwan mo lang sa isang kwarto yung pera. And then 2-3 days later, suddenly ma-approve na lang yung project mo. Ganon. Makukuha mo na lang yung contract na inaantay mo. Pero wala kang makikitang connection. And that's where it's difficult to prove unless gumawa ka ng entrapment. At yun yung mahirap dito sa corruption sa Pilipinas at bakit mahirap huliin yun. Another thing is when you ask the politician directly about, let's say for example may deal kayo ng isang politician, kung magaling yung politicians, tinanong mo, okay na ba tayo sa usapan natin, deny nila lahat yan. Sasabihin na, hindi ko alam kung anong pinagsasabi mo, basta kung anong usapan yun ng tao ko, yun na yun. That's how they do it. Another way they do these corrupt practices is this. For example, you have a contractor that is dealing with a politician, tapos may gusto siyang kontrata. Ngayon, let's say nakuha niya, bago niya makuha yung kontrata, they're gonna play golf, for example. Sa golf game nila, magkakaroon sila ng pustahan. Tapos sabihin ng politiko, sige, I bet you can't do a hole-in-one. I'll bet you 50 million pesos niyo magagawa yan. Tapos, yung contractor, hindi niya magagawa yung hole-in-one, obviously. Natalo siya sa pustahan eh. So, ano gagawin niya? Susulatan niya ng cheque. Talo siya. Binigay niya yung cheque o nagbigay siya ng cash. Talo siya sa pustahan eh. Pustahan lang yun eh. Over a game of golf. Pero coincidentally, the week later, biglang na-approve yung project niya. Pero how do you connect that? Kasi you're looking at it from a stance of they're just playing golf as buddies. Mayaman sa mayaman. So, yun, nag-exchange money lang. Tapos next thing you know, they get the contract. Maraming iba't ibang mga paraan para maging corrupt sa Pilipinas. At yung mga matatagal ng mga politiko ay mas magaling dito. Ngayon pag-usapan naman natin yung kaso ng bribery. Funny nga nung tinanong si Jinggoy about it kung anong tingin niya doon, sagot lang niya, I'm not my lawyer, I don't know what it's all about, ganyan. Alam mo, kung hindi ka guilty, sabihin mo lang, hindi, walang bribery, hindi nangyari yun. Di ba? The fact na hindi ka makasagot ng derecho really means that you're hiding behind the law, the very law that the very politicians created to protect them. And will we ever see him go to jail? We've seen him go to jail and he was granted bail, surprisingly enough. Ngayon, eto na, he's sentenced and they're going to appeal it now. But in the meantime, what's the ironic thing is this. The Senate, who he's a part of, has not acted to take him out of the Senate. Kasi in reality, when you're a senator, you should be clean. You should not have any cases or convictions. And he already has a conviction. Sabihin mo na nga, it's not final yet. Kasi they want to appeal it. But a conviction has been made. And in that case, kailangan siya temporarily to not be allowed to participate in the Senate. And dapat talaga i-call na yan ng majority leader or Senate leader na tanggalin si Jinggoy from any positions that he holds and from participating in the Senate. Like they did with De Lima, right? Who was acquitted, by the way, with trumped-up charges. So it's so funny how politics works, and it's so sad how our politics works. And when you see how politicians deal with these things, I am still hopeful that one day magbabago din to, mag-i-improve to as we go along. But for now, this is what we have to deal with, and we have to be vigilant, and we have to always stay aware and abreast of what's going on in politics para lang hindi nila iisipin na kaya nilang gawin lang to kahit kailan nilang gusto. And that's my take on this. And I hope that, you guys come up with your own ideas and thoughts on this. And you may agree or disagree with me. Wala tayong problema doon. And I'm okay with listening to all sides and hearing perspectives. Kaya I'd love to hear from all of you kung ano tingin nyo dun sa acquittal niya on the plunder charge. And do you believe he's innocent? Or do you believe he just gamed the system? And on the conviction of bribery and on indirect bribery. Ano din tingin nyo doon? I'd love to hear from all of you. Just write in the comment section below. At I'll see you guys in Manila when I get back. For now, this is Kristan. And makita tayo muli sa aking susunod na video. Salamat.